Well, hi. I'm Diana Montford, the world's first transgender television journalist. Born male, became female, you know the drill. My guest is transgender activist Ms. Brooke Cerda, who is Mexican, who is a woman of transgender experience. And as you know, she's one of our best friends. She comes here all the time. And we're just going to talk about whatever we're going to talk about.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
I love it that I'm becoming a regular.
Yes, well.
I love to come here, and I hope your viewers,
Obviously, they do.
they do
And
too.
by the way, that's an extremely becoming dress you're wearing.
Thank you. Today is, very warm day. So I was like,
As we shoot this, we're shooting this in December, or rather November, but it's 73 degrees or something.
It's one of those rare days that we get. So, I don't know, whenever you watch it, it's probably going to be winter. So
Yes, and you'll be thinking 73 degrees.
So, this year, 2016, was very violent, especially against, Black trans women. That's why I ordered these buttons to bring awareness. It's a hashtag. Everybody can look it up. Black Trans Lives Matter.
All lives matter. Everyone's life matters.
Yeah, but we are trying to get attention to those who were left behind.
Soon the Day of Remembrance.
Those who are left behind, because like I said, right now is November, and the count, so to speak, the body count is almost I think it's 28 trans people murdered in this country. And from those 24, they were black. They were black trans women. So it's very disproportionate. So it's very alarming to me. It just feels like, I don't know how this can happen. I know anybody who is perceived different is always at danger of violence, bullying, discrimination, othering. But, I'm talking about murder, 24 black trans women in this country. I cannot wrap my head around, my mind around it, because, I just, feel like we should be doing more.
Yeah, but the police are sometimes they're the ones who harass trans women, as you know.
Yeah, that's another component. A lot of it is not just trans individuals. A lot of black and brown people, they just don't. If they call the police, if they call the police, they are the ones who go to jail.
Or worse.
Or worse.
The police show up and they shoot a man of color just because he's a man of color, even if he's the one calling in the complaint.
So, well, there is that it has had me pretty depressed, but, there has been, other highlights this year and in 2016, in New York City, we are able to align our documentation, especially if you was born here in New York City and you need a birth certificate.
I got one, yeah.
So you didn't have any problems, right?
No, I had my name legally changed. I had got my birth certificate, new Social Security card under my new name, and yeah, everything was fine.
Yeah, so that is amazing, because I think it just reduces the level of violence that.
Well, as a rule, anywhere you would show your birth certificate, usually they're not going to be violent against you. Usually, you never know, but they're not going to say
Yeah, but if your gender marker does not match.
Oh yeah.
Your presentation.
Well, that's happened to me many times.
That's like.
For a long time, the gender markers didn't match, and some druggist at Duane Reade, when I was trying to buy my hormones years ago, kept saying, "Sir, yes, sir, no, sir." He's never that polite to anyone, but he just said it to me. I mean, who needs this, you know?
Yeah, so, and then de Blasio had an ordinance about the bathrooms and that, you know, I mean, it's not a law. Like, we're still waiting for GENDA to pass.
Yes.
GENDA stands for Gender Expression Non-Discrimination Act.
We here in New York City do have complete parity with all other groups. We have the same civil rights that everyone else has. But in the rest of New York State, that isn't the case. And we're hoping to pass GENDA. Gender, whatever?
Gender Expression Non-Discrimination Act.
Right.
That's what it stands for.
And now it's been 14 years.
14
yes.
years.
And we're still waiting, and we're hoping that maybe 2017 brings us good news. Or, you know, maybe Tuesday will be our good news day. Who knows?
And it reminds me, that was the last time I saw you at the
When?
TransPact fundraiser.
Oh, right, yes,
yeah,
yes. With Rebecca Seawright, who is the assembly member for the Upper East Side. I am seated, as you remember. And, yes, we had a lot of fun, and we gave awards to many trans people. And Brooke kindly showed up because I called her and said, oh, please, can you come? And she did.
Open bar,
Yes.
food.
Yes.
I'm in.
And Tanya Walker, she gave out the awards. She was our spokesmodel, in effect. I was the MC, and all under the auspices of Democratic Assembly member, New York State Assembly member, Rebecca Seawright.
Yes, that was a beautiful event. And
Excuse me.
so I understand, as far as I understand, TransPac, it's going to take where the Empire State Pride agenda, which no longer exists.
Well, they despised us 20 years ago. Now, you know, they said, if you look, if you Google me, you'll see me telling the New York Times when, you know, Empire State Pride agenda said, we're only going to help the gays and lesbians, not the right.
People.
And I said, well, is half a loaf better than none? You know, and now, you know, today I'd say, fuck this. No, we all get our rights. But at the time, I didn't want to ruin it, you know. So I said, well, I guess we'll have to wait.
I know, and we
I
have
didn't
waited.
think we'd be waiting this
and
long.
we have
though.
waited and waited. So I thank
Waiting
you.
for Godot.
I thank you for pushing and, you know, and pressing for our civil rights.
I'm one of the people who did get, along with many others, Melissa Sklar, Pauline Park, many others, who did get, you know, trans inclusion in New York City. But that was in 2003, and we're shooting this at the very end of 2016 for 2017 release. So you can imagine we're still waiting.
I know, but there's another great news that you don't know yet.
What?
But I want to continue talking
You're
about.
pregnant. No, what?
I look like it
No,
sometimes
you don't. No,
when I
you
get
look
bloated.
gorgeous.
No, I mean, yeah, everybody, I know they have an account on Twitter. It's just TransPac, PAC. And they need funding because we really need to. It's been 14 years trying to pass this bill.
Yes, but we had the head of it here. If you go on YouTube, you can see Mel Wymore, who once ran for city council. He's a trans man. He's the head of TransPac. He was here saying, please send us money, you know? So,
yes.
And he's great. He's one of, he was at the award ceremony too.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, he was honoring his friend who died of cancer. Remember, another transmasculine.
Oh, that's so sad. Yes,
yeah.
Jay, you mean?
I think I forgot the name, which I have to call him to know the name because I had the video. I took the video. I just wanted to.
That's fabulous.
I want to post.
Did you put it
a little bit more?
YouTube?
I want to know the name. I don't want to misspell the name. So,
okay.
So anyway, so that's very exciting. So hopefully 2017, you know, they will take it out for a vote in the Senate, which that's what is needed. It has never been taken out for a vote in the Senate. It passes the first House. I forget.
Yes, but they're all Republicans, so they don't want to help us.
Well, it just like, I mean, we have been making a lot of noise, and I'm really hopeful that TransPac will be, because it's mostly trans-led, right?
Right,
TransPac.
but it's all trans. But the thing, mostly 99%. But the thing is, we've reached a stone wall because they just refuse. The Republicans refuse to give us our rights. Why, I don't know. Since, I mean, human beings are human beings, but they just say no, 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 no.
Yeah, I mean, it is. There's stuff that you can hardly understand in the history of this country. How like especially like Black Americans.
Yeah, well, Mexican Americans. Los Ángeles era México antes de que este país dijo no es nuestro.
I know, but it's just like how they, especially Black Americans, they had to struggle and fight, to get
it's worse now than ever.
Basic civil rights.
They're being shot in their cars. People of color, Black people, are being shot in their cars just for being Black. They're being shot in the streets just for being Black. This is ridiculous. What is this? It's worse now than it's ever been since the Emancipation Proclamation. I mean, no, this isn't.
Well, Malcolm X said it. People need to have their own space, like the trans community. We need a community center, a national trans community center. It's just a matter of that.
Is sort of
but they were pushing for integration, and integration really never happened.
Because they don't want us. The gay men don't want us, They don't like us.
That's what I say. We need to have a trans space.
Yeah, but the thing is, if we do that, then we've ghettoized ourselves.
No, but I mean, this is just like the White House, so to speak. Once you have your national trans community center, from there you can structure resources.
Yeah, we can form coalitions with.
Stop the bleeding of the money that goes to anyone who
anyone
just say
but us.
LGBT. They just say LGBT, but where is the services for the T, right? So.
Well, Cristina Herrera here at the center in New York, the Gay Center, is doing wonderful work,
Mm-hmm.
And you can see her on YouTube. She's been on the show.
Yes.
She's
Trans Latina Network.
Yes.
It's been. I think they got a grant this year.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Which was so
great.
exciting.
Yeah.
And and also, you remember you were in that time before '98. I think that we were able to get gender affirming.
Yes, and now
procedures.
Well, now we can again.
Now we can again.
But for many years, and Pataki, even for bad people to
Pataki.
get. Oh, Pataki. Governor Pataki here in New York years ago fixed it so that trans people could not get their hormones on Medicaid. And that was a terrible blow because so many of our people are on Medicaid because they can't get jobs because they're trans.
Yes, and I hope for every trans individual, especially in New York City, we learn our lesson. I mean, you can watch, Desperate Housewives of Atlanta, whatever you want, but you cannot be oblivious. Local politics matter. And that bill, that ban against, trans related medical health care it came out of nowhere.
Right.
It came out of nowhere. It was like, oh, nobody can get hormones, nobody can get surgeries, nothing. So we had a huge victory because they reversed that ban. I think it was last year. And we just had this week a bigger victory because it was partially lifted, the ban, ban, right? Ban with, yeah.
De alta N.
Yeah, but with a B,
yes,
not B. Ban. Yeah, Van is a car. I hate this language.
Or an old actor named Van Johnson.
So now.
Or the Green Hornet Van Williams.
Several organizations like Silver Rivera Law Project, Transgender Legal Defense, and I'm not sure, Lambda, stuff like that, they pressure, and a lot of activists pressure to have a more comprehensive access to healthcare.
Transgender Legal Defense is they are the people who hooked me up with Eric Holder. Remember Eric Holder? He was the Attorney General, I believe. They hooked me up with his law firm to help me get my name legally changed. And now it's even better because Transgender Legal Defense Fund is headed by a trans woman, Jill Weiss. Look her up on YouTube.
I
She's
know.
done this show. And Melissa Sklars, also look her up on YouTube. I mean, you know.
Which is what we need. We need community-led initiatives because it's not the same cis people who can relate to our
Right.
experience.
Or-
the trans experience is like, you know, I mean, it has to be community-led.
For the uninitiated, cis, CIS, means people who present in the gender to which they were born. Non-transgender people, formerly known as genetic people, genetic women, genetic men. People who were born male and grow up to be men. People who were born female and grow up to be women. And, you know, but we're trans.
Yeah.
So
So that was a huge victory this week because, you know, they were arguing that certain procedures were cosmetics, you know, like,
well, bust implants are considered cosmetic improvements.
but not if you're
If
a
you're
trans woman.
right, exactly. Well, that's the gray
Or
area. They don't
even
know
trans masculine
Well, top surgery
people,
is
then-
necessary for trans
yes.
men, you know.
Yeah, I think it's necessary for anybody who feels it's necessary. You know yourself better than anyone else. It's about self-identification. Your doctor or your therapist is not going to tell you who you are.
No, but as I've said, it's a very gray area. Are bust implants absolutely necessary for trans women, or are they a cosmetic procedure? You know, so I mean, that's a slippery slope. It's very difficult because then cisgender women say, well, wait a minute. You're giving free breast implants to trans women. How about me? You know, so it's very difficult. You know?
No, I mean, it was approved. It is
Oh,
approved.
so they do give
Yes.
breast implants to
Yeah,
trans women
now it's comprehensive. That
on Medicaid for free.
on Medicaid,
That's
covers
fabulous.
it on Medicaid.
Do they
It's
do
not for free.
facelift?
It's not for free. Taxpayers pay for as we should. We should take care of our own people. No, they do some facial feminization.
Do they
and,
really?
and stuff like that to make life easier. Because I mean, if we don't look a certain way, you become a target.
Yes.
You become a target, especially, I mean, and you know, the moment that somebody hears that you might be, they start from your head going down,
Yeah,
and it's
and
just like,
there's
well,
always
she's
something
kind of
that-
flat-chested, so
there's
she
some-
might be trans.
Right.
Right? So you're guilty.
When Twiggy was a big model in the mid-'60s, everyone said, is that really a woman or is that really a man? You know?
I know, it's like, even our first lady, you know, everybody.
Because of her arms.
Because,
yes.
you know, it's seen as a liability right now,
To be what?
be trans.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and we are really trying to educate people to see like it's actually an asset. Being trans is a blessing. We are the chosen ones. You know, we don't know why to live this experience that is so challenging, and you know, you cannot walk, you know, one block without somebody like, you know, looking at you doing the double take.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I
I mean, we live in Manhattan.
Yeah, but I
We are
transitioned at
blessed.
15. I'm so used to that.
You know, trying to get out of Manhattan, trying to get out of, you know, in another place and just stuff like that.
Yeah, if you
know.
move to, say, Cleveland, it might be difficult.
And yes, I mean, they'll chase you out of your neighborhood, you know, sooner or
Oh,
later.
that happened to me once. I lived in a New Jersey town, and the police came and they said, you know, we think you'd be happier in New York. It's that way. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
I know. I that's why I don't like Jersey. I wouldn't be caught dead in Jersey because.
Well, you would, actually. You'd be caught dead there, yes.
I feel like it's a red state, even when people say
It
it's
certainly
not
can
a red
be.
state,
No,
and
it
like you
can
know,
be.
I mean, I know for a fact if they arrest a trans woman of color, and she's accused of engaging in sex work, you know, they stay there forever. In jail.
In New Jersey?
In jail. There's no agencies. There's no nothing.
Too awful.
We have actually, you know, like the Sex Workers Project.
Right.
You know, the Lorena Borjas Community Fund, which actually posts the bail, so our women are not forced to remain in jail for a long time. You
Do
know,
you have
and
their
be
website?
torture. I mean, you can just look at it. You Google it. Lorena Borjas Community Fund. Community Fund.
LORENA BORG, no, J, Borjas, A.S.
Yes, Lorena Borjas with a J, not with an H, and stuff like that. But in Jersey, no. So even the lawyers say it's like, please be careful when you go to Jersey, because it will take at least a year to get you out of there.
God. And they put them in men's jails.
Yes, it is a totally different. So you see,
which makes a lot of sense. Let's lock up women caught having sex with men in men's jails. That makes no sense at all, you know.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, it's just basically like saying, if it's a tank full of sharks, and then we're gonna be like, oh, here, let's put
Let's put a goldfish in there. Dinner's ready.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's horrible. Which I got to see the documentary Laverne Cox.
Oh yes, she's wonderful.
With,
love you, Laverne. She watches the show. Love you, Laverne. Love
Shout
you,
out
Caitlin.
to Laverne. I love you, Laverne.
Yes, and Caitlin.
And that documentary is amazing. It's called Free CC.
Laverne is amazing. Laverne changed it. Laverne and Caitlin changed everything. We've had this discussion. Mm-hmm. They normalized what we are and made us mainstream, you know.
So it is very, very hard to watch. Basically, Cece McDonald, she was accused of murder because she was attacked in I think it was in Minnesota, and I mean it was like when you watch that documentary, if it wasn't because of Laverne and because the community, she would never got out of jail.
Laverne is great.
They wanted to throw the book at her.
Yeah.
So that documentary, as a matter of fact, a friend of mine, stormed out, especially when they were talking about solitary confinement.
Oh.
And stuff, it's just like I have some of my friends that they spent 8 years in solitary confinement.
Oh my God.
So it was
trans women or
trans
cisgender?
women. Yeah, because that's a normal procedure for trans women. They say
they call it protective custody.
But that means that you are only the guard's candy. Nobody else can touch you, rape you, but the guards. So it is horrific. But it was so beautiful. The director, her name is Jack. I don't know how you pronounce Jarre or Garret.
Garrett, maybe?
Jarre? It ends with an S. Gares.
I don't know.
Gares. Jacqueline Gares or Jack Gares. It's just.
Is she trans? The director?
No, she's cis. Okay. But it was the producer was Laverne.
Oh
Laverne Cox.
She's great. We love her.
And I always remember, that was 3 years ago when she was incarcerated and stuff, and it's really, really.
Did she get off?
Yes.
This woman?
Yeah.
And what was her name?
Cece McDonald.
Cece McDonald.
Yeah, and that was the hashtag, Free Cece. And that's the name of the documentary, Free Cece. It was very powerful. It was premiere at the New Fest.
You know what I love about Laverne Cox? She gives back. She's been remarkably fortunate. She's a beautiful woman, a great actress. But she's not saying, fuck you, I'm safe. Bye-bye. She's helping us, her own community.
Yeah, and I'm really counting on her, because, to raise more awareness, especially because, like I say, 24 Black trans women in this country, that is supposed to be so progressive and stuff, we all really need to start talking about, why so many Black trans women murder. Every year.
Last year we did the Day of Remembrance, and it was 24 women had died, 23 were women of color.
Yes.
And one was a white trans woman who was murdered by her Christian fundamentalist father, who strangled her or stabbed her.
It's just horrible. I mean, trigger warning. We could really, it's like, these are horrific deaths. It's very rare that they just they just shot him and that's it. It's just.
No, they torture Black trans women.
Yeah, and I feel like also organizations, they need to do a better job at educating the public.
Yes, they really do. Well, Laverne is doing a great job just by being on television, and they write that show very carefully, Orange is the New Black, so we get a window into the trans experience,
Yeah, which, by the way, I hope next season Laverne gets to date, because I understand her character has been stalled. She's in solitary confinement,
Oh, poor
and you know.
Yeah, but that creepy guard likes
We want
her.
to see Sophia.
Yes, but that awful guard likes her, the one with the mustache. Oh.
Well,
The one who puts a Big Mac under her nose that says, you can have this
I
if
don't
you'll be
believe
nice
that
to
in
me.
a prison there's only one trans woman. In Orange is the New Black. I
Well-
think she's the only one.
Well, let's hope they cast us.
yes.
Yes, we want to be on Orange is the
I
New
don't.
Black.
I
went to
don't want to
acting
be in
school.
jail except it's for Orange is the New Black.
Yes, that we
Yeah,
want.
let's
Yeah,
clarify.
Hire us. Yeah, we'll do it for
Never
free.
jail
yes.
time, please. Never jail time.
No, no jail.
Only for Netflix.
Yes,
That's about it.
That's it.
That's
and
about
we want
it.
perfect makeup and hair, please.
Yeah, right. No, girl, it's prison.
I know. Yeah, but they do a really nice job on the makeup there.
They're gonna put us like, you know. Yeah, but wouldn't that be?
Oh,
beautiful,
yes.
that
If you're watching
either she gets
this-
transferred, and because we have a trans prison here in New York City,
Do
right?
we really?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It is. It's
The
in
Christy
Rikers.
Jorgensen Memorial Penitentiary.
No, it's in Rikers. You know, Mariah Lopez was
Oh, yes.
instrumental.
She's great.
in-
I love Mariah Lopez.
In Get It So.
She made it okay for trans women to wear women's clothes in shelters. So you have to love her. She's
A
great.
trailblazer.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that was.
And we're out of time.
yes.
Okay.
So wrap it up.
Yes. My guest has been the wonderful, long-standing friend and semi-regular here on the Diana Montfort Show, Miss Brooke Cerda, who is a transgender activist, a Mexican rights activist, a pretty dress activist, every kind of, a great nail, a great manicure activist. She's every kind.
You name
An
it.
Orange is the New Black activist, yes. Hey, we want jobs. Come on, Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. Give your website.
Well, you can see the Twitter, my Twitter. I changed my Twitter. It's like a very hard to pronounce. Descolonizadora.
Dios mío de mi vida.
But they will learn it. If I keep coming back, they will learn it by
but
heart.
if you just look up Brooke Cerda, Cerda.
Yeah, it's in the screen.
Yes.
It's in the screen. They can just definitely take a picture of the screen and Google me.
Yes. And I'm Diana Montfort. This has been the Diana Montfort Show. I love you a lot, even if no one else loves you. And I especially love you if you're the producer of Orange is the New Black. I went to acting school. I want you to know this. Resume upon request. Headshots, yes. Anyway, I love you a lot. Even if no one else loves you, I love you. And I'll see you next time. And we love you. Don't we?
We love Laverne. We love
We
Orange
love
is the New
everybody.
Black. We love everybody. That's it.
Yes. Anyway, we love you a lot. Take good care of yourself. See you next time.